So according to molecular orbital theory, so we have discussed the molecular orbital theory in the first unit. So according to the concept, whenever there is a molecule formation, there is a linear combination of corresponding atomic orbitals. Those atomic orbitals linear combinations finally producing some number of bonding molecular orbitals and corresponding anti-bonding molecular orbitals. In some of the cases, there is also one more level, non-bonding orbitals. Non-bonding orbitals. So like this, if according to Markov theory, in any given molecule, always there is a formation of bonding molecular orbitals. After that, depending upon the molecule, we have some number of non-bonding orbitals, and we have actually anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So, and initially all the electrons are actually occupied by bonding molecular orbitals. If any more number of electrons are available, those are actually goes to the non-bonding level. In some of the cases, the remaining electrons also enters into the anti-bonding level also. So that means basically these are three electronic energy levels available in any given molecule. If you take any molecule, whether there is organic compound or inorganic compound or any type of compound, so always there is a formation of ground state energy level, that is actually called bonding molecular orbital. This is actually ground state. Basically this is one of the lowest energy state. Lowest energy state, that is actually called ground state. So bonding molecular is lowest energy states. After that we have a non-bonding state. This is also one of the ground state only, because these orbitals are not participating in bond formation. So ground state. But then we have a anti-bonding level. This is actually called higher energy state. Anti-bonding orbitals actually called higher energy state. So initially electrons are actually available either in the bonding molecular orbitals or non-bonding level. So, and we have a excited state like this, anti-bonding level. So whenever if you are sending ultraviolet or visible light towards the unknown compound, there is a promotion of either non-bonding electrons to the anti-bonding level or bonding electrons to the anti-bonding level. So there is a promotion of electrons depending on the how much energy gap available here. So sometimes there is some of the non-bonding electrons actually promoted from ground state to the anti-bonding level, that means higher energy state, or sometimes these bonding electrons are actually promoted to the anti-bonding level. So these are actually called electronic transitions. There is a transfer of electrons, there is a promotion of electrons from the ground state to the higher energy state whenever if you are providing UV or visible radiation towards the unknown molecule, because this is one of the higher energy radiation when compared to infrared and microwave radiation. So that is the reason. So once we send UV or visible radiation toward the unknown molecule, there is a excitation of electrons, there is a promotion of electrons, or there is a transfer of electrons from ground state to the higher energy state like this. So these are the main reason for the different types of absorption peaks in the corresponding absorption spectrum. So either bonding level, ground state, or non-bonding level, that is also ground state, and anti-bonding level, that is actually higher energy state. So but we know that according to molecular orbital theory, whenever there is a linear combination between the different types of orbitals, there is a formation of sigma type of bonding orbitals, or pi type of bonding orbitals, or pi star anti-bonding orbitals, and sigma star anti-bonding orbitals, and middle of that actually we have a non-bonding orbitals also. So whenever if you make any compound, if you take any compound, those compounds always having all these types of energy levels. All these are actually called electronic energy levels. What are the possible levels? So that we will see. Like this, if you take any molecule, in that particular molecule we have a different types of electronic energy levels in this manner. What is the lowest one? The lowest one actually is sigma bonding molecular orbital. The lowest one actually is sigma bonding molecular orbital. If that molecule contains any unsaturation, there is also chance of getting pi bond also. So in those cases we have a pi bonding molecular orbital like this, and depending upon the different atoms, sometimes we have a non-bonding orbitals also, non-bonding level, and then we have a corresponding pi star anti-bonding and sigma star anti-bonding like this. So like this, you will get different types of electronic energy levels like this. And these two are actually termed as higher energy states. HS means higher energy states. And these three actually called ground state, lower energy states. These three actually called lower energy states, and pi star and sigma star actually called higher energy state like this. So depending upon whenever if you are sending UV visible radiation toward the unknown molecule, whenever if we are providing UV or visible radiation toward the unknown molecule, then there is a promotion of electrons either from the non-bonding level or pi bonding level or sigma bonding level to the corresponding pi star or sigma star anti-bonding levels in the particular compound. So that means what are the possible electronic transitions in a given molecule? So the first possible transitions are actually these two. What is this level? This is actually non-bonding level. So non-bonding means we can say this is actually non-bonding to, so what is this level? Pi star level. So N to pi star transition actually one of the possible transition, and this is one of the, this particular transition actually requires very lower energy, yes or no, because the energy gap actually very less. And the second possible transition actually from non-bonding to what is this level? Sigma star. So that means this is actually non-bonding to sigma star transition. So these two transitions are actually possible, and in addition to that, if it is an unsaturated compound, we have a pi bonding level also and corresponding pi star antibonding also. So from the pi electrons available in pi bonding level are actually excited to the pi star antibonding, and that means this is actually pi to pi star transition. Similarly, the same pi bonding electrons also can go to the sigma star level. So this is actually pi to sigma star transition. That is also one of the possible transition. And third possibility actually, so the sum of the sigma bonding electrons can excite it to the pi star or sigma star level, because these two are actually higher energy states. So what is the first transition? This is sigma bonding to pi star antibonding, or from sigma bonding to sigma star antibonding level. So like this, in a given molecule, there are 6 possible electronic transitions. In a given molecule, there are 6 possible electronic transitions. And what is the first one? N2 pi star is possible, or N2 sigma star actually possible, or pi to pi star is possible, or pi to sigma star actually possible, or sigma to pi star is possible, or sigma to sigma star actually possible. So like this, depending upon the nature of the molecule, so always we have a different types of transitions like this. And among various transitions, you can clearly understand that this particular transition requires higher energy, yes or no? Sigma to sigma star, huge energy gap is there. That means generally, what is the relation between energy and wavelength? Energy wavelength. If wavelength decreases, energy increases. If wavelength increases, corresponding energy decreases. That means this particular transition actually requires higher energy, because huge energy gap is there between them. If you want to exit one of the electron available here to here, that means we have to provide how much energy gap is available. So we have to provide highest amount of energy. So highest amount of energy means what? We have to provide lower energy radiation, shorter wavelength radiation. So that means generally this particular transition absorbs radiation from 200 to around 250 nanometers, or less than 200 also sometimes, this particular transition. So that means always sigma to sigma star transition always absorbs from the ultraviolet region only. It cannot absorb radiation from the visible radiation. So what is visible range? From 380 to 760, little bit longer wavelength. But here the energy gap is more. That means we need shorter wavelength radiation. So that is actually 200 to 250 or less than 200 nanometers only. So this is actually one of the higher energy transition, whereas this one, if you see this energy transition, N to pi star. So this transition actually requires very lowest energy. So that means energy decreases means wavelength actually increases. That means so this particular transition requires longer wavelength. So longer wavelength means in most of the cases, so this particular transition can able to absorb very close to the 380 or sometimes greater than 380 also. So greater than 380 means that is actually visible region. In some other cases that is very close to the 380 nanometers range. So like this, depending on the type of molecule we have, so whether there is a saturated compound or unsaturated compound or complex molecule, so we have different types of electronic transitions in this manner. But irrespective of the type of molecule, so if any molecule always contains these kind of electronic transitions, sigma bonding, pi bonding, non-bonding, pi star antibonding, sigma star antibonding in this manner, and depending upon the type of molecule, we have a different types of transitions in this like this. And generally N2 pi star and pi 2 pi star actually defined as most probable transitions in any given molecule. So these are the main responsible for the absorption spectrum. If your molecule contains any unsaturation or any kind of lone pair containing kind of groups, definitely you will get N2 pi star transition or pi 2 pi star transitions. So that means these two transitions are actually called most probable transitions that we have to identify in a given in a different types of molecules. So like this, in the case of UV spectroscopy, basically there is a promotion of electrons from the either sigma level or pi level or non-bonding level from the ground state to the higher energy state. What are the higher energy states? Anti-bonding levels, either pi star anti-bonding or sigma star anti-bonding in this manner. Okay, so this is something about the possible electronic transitions in the case of UV visible spectroscopy. So now we have to identify in a different types of molecules all these different types of electronic transitions. I am going to show you some of the examples and we will try to identify the corresponding possible transitions. Okay. So you can see here. So we have different types of examples here. So we will see one by one each molecule what are the possible transitions. So first we will start with this one. So this is actually nitrobenzene compound. So in this case we have some aromatic benzening like this, and we have an N double bond group and N single bond group like this. And so that means this is one of the pi bond. Yes or not? This is one of the double bond, sorry. This is one of the double bond. That means this compound actually contains C double bond C group. That is one reason. And this group also contains N double bond O group. That is also there. And this compound also contains one nitrogen atom. That nitrogen atom actually having one lone pair of electrons like this. Sorry, not nitrogen, oxygen. So this oxygen also contains lone pair of electrons like this, and here also we have some number of lone pair of electrons like this. Yes or no? So what is the meaning of lone pair of electrons? Lone pair of electrons nothing but actually these are not participate in the any bond formation. Lone pair, that is not participate in any bond formation, either sigma bond formation or pi bond formation. So that means these are actually non-bonding. This belongs to non-bonding electrons. So this molecule contains some non-bonding electrons, and we have a pi bond and sigma bond. Yes or not? We have a C double bond C group like this. So that means this molecule contains some sigma bonds, CC sigma bonds or CN sigma bond or NO sigma bond like that. So this molecule contains some sigma bonds. At the same time we have a pi bonds also. This is actually pi bonding, and in this case this is also one of the pi bond. So that means in this case we have a pi bonding. So in this case we have a sigma level because we have some sigma bonds, CC sigma bond, CN sigma bond or NO sigma bond like this. We have a sigma level and we have some number of pi bonds also, either C double bond C group or N double bond O group. So that means we have a pi bonding level also. And in this case these two oxygen centers actually contains lone pair of electrons. That means those lone pairs acting as a non-bonding electrons. We have a non-bonding level, and finally correspondingly we have a pi star anti-bonding because we have a pi bonding level and sigma star anti-bonding like this. So that means in this case how many possible electron transitions are actually possible? Because in this case we have all types of levels. Sigma level is possible, pi level is possible, non-bonding level is possible, and pi star antibonding, sigma star antibonding also available. That means in this case the total possible transition actually 6. Total 6 transitions actually possible. What are the 6 transitions? N to pi star, N to sigma star, pi to pi star, pi to sigma star, sigma to pi star, and sigma to sigma star. So like this, in this particular molecule total 6 possible transitions are actually available, but among those the most probable transitions are actually, one is actually N2 pi star and second one actually pi to pi star, because these two transitions requires lower energy when compared to all other transitions. So that means these are actually most probable transitions in this particular molecule, but in general in this case we can able to get 6 possible transitions, because so this molecule contains all types of levels. Sigma bonding levels are available, pi bonding levels are available, non-bonding levels are available, and pi star antibonding, sigma star antibonding. So this is one of the example. And what about this one? So this is actually phenol molecule. So in this case also we have a C double bond C. That means this compound also contains some pi bonding electrons as well as sigma bonding electron. That is confirmed. So next we have to check. Here we have a one oxygen atom, OH group is there. So this oxygen center contains lone pair of electrons, S or not. So that means we have some number of non-bonding electrons also. So here we have a non-bonding electrons, we have a sigma bonds as well as pi bonds in the entire molecule. So that means in this case also how many levels are actually possible? Again sigma, pi, non-bonding, pi star antibonding, sigma star antibonding. 5 different levels possible like this. So among these 5 different levels, again we will get 6 possible transitions in this manner. Even phenol molecule also actually having 6 possible electron transitions, but among those again the most probable transitions are actually N to pi star and pi to pi star only. These are actually most possible transitions. And what about this one? So in this case also it is very clear that we have a pi bonding as well as sigma bonding, because we have a aromatic ring, and even this is actually C double bond O group. That means a sigma bond as well as pi bond, and we have a oxygen centers, either this one or this one. So these two oxygens also having lone pair of electrons. So that means in this case also we have a non-bonding electrons, pi bonding electrons as well as sigma bonding electrons. So that means in this case how many transitions actually possible? Again 6 transitions actually possible in the similar manner, but again among those 6 transitions the most possible transitions are actually N to pi star, pi to pi star. These are the most probable transitions, but total 6 transitions actually possible. Now coming to this example, this is very important. So what is this molecule actually? This is actually methane molecule, CH4. CH4 molecule. So in this molecule what type of bonds are there? This is only sigma bond, sigma bond, sigma bond, sigma bond. All are actually sigma bonds only. And any atom in this molecule contains lone pair of electrons. We have only 2 types of atoms only. One is carbon atom and the remaining are actually 4 actually hydrogen atoms only. So hydrogen atom maximum actually having 2 electrons only, and the 2 actually involved in the bond participation only. Even carbon can able to form only maximum 4 bonds only. That means in this case either carbon or hydrogen doesn't have any lone pair of electrons. Here there is no lone pair of electrons. So if there is no lone pair of electrons means there is no non-bonding level in this particular case, because in this case either carbon atom or hydrogen doesn't have any lone pair of electrons. That means in this case there is no question of non-bonding level. At the same time in this case all bonds are actually only sigma bonds only. There is no chance of pi bonding in this case. So that means in this case we have sigma bonding level and corresponding sigma star anti-bonding level only. We don't have any pi bonding level and pi star anti-bonding, and we don't have any non-bonding level also. Yes or not? So that means in this case, what is the possible transition? There is only one possible transition, that is actually sigma to sigma star. That is actually sigma to sigma star only. That is sigma to sigma star only. So that means this is one of the higher energy transition. It always absorbs in the region of ultraviolet region only. It cannot absorb radiation from the visible radiation because this is one of the higher energy transition. That means always methane molecule actually colorless. This is actually one of the colorless compound. Yes or not? So like this. And coming to this one, what is this compound? This is actually naphthalene. Okay. So but in this case, we have only CC double bonds or CC single bonds only or CH bonds only. For example, this is actually one of the CH bond. All these are actually CH bonds. Yes or not? So this molecule contains either carbon or hydrogen. Only two atoms are available, and between the carbon atoms we have a alternate double bonds also, and we have sigma bonds also. That means in this case, what type of bondings are available? Sigma bonding is available and pi bonding is available, and both carbon atom or hydrogen atom doesn't contain any lone pair of electron. That means this molecule doesn't contain any lone pair containing atoms like oxygen or sulfur or any other type of nitrogen, something kind of thing. So in this case, there is no non-bonding electrons. That means there is no question of non-bonding level, but we have sigma bonding and pi bonding and corresponding pi star and corresponding sigma star. Yes or no? So in this particular case, we have a sigma bonding, pi bonding. That means automatically we will get the corresponding pi star anti-bonding and sigma star anti-bonding. So like this, we have four energy levels in this case. And what are the possible transitions? Pi to pi star or pi to sigma star, sigma to pi star or sigma to sigma star. So that means in this case, four possible transitions are actually available. But among the most possible one actually, probable transition actually pi to pi star transition only. So this is the most probable transition, pi to pi star, because we have more number of pi bonds in this case. Yes sir. So this is like this you have to predict. And coming to this one, what is this molecule? This is nothing but actually 1,3 butadiene molecule. Yes or not? First carbon, second carbon, third carbon and fourth carbon. So first carbon contains double bond, again third carbon contains double bond. That means this is actually one of the conjugate system. Alternate double bonds are available. And this is one of the 1,3 butadiene molecule. But in this case, what type of atoms are available? Carbon and hydrogen only. There is no any other heteroatom like phosphorus or oxygen or nitrogen, sulfur kind of thing, or even halogens. We don't have any such kind of groups in this case. So that means in this case also there is no question of non-bonding electrons. We don't have any non-bonding electrons. But we have a pi bond as well as sigma bonds here. That means in this case also again we will get four different states like this: sigma, pi, pi star, sigma star. Again we will get four different levels like this only, and possible transition actually pi to pi star, pi to sigma star, sigma to pi star and sigma to sigma star in this manner. But among all these four transitions, the most probable transition actually pi to pi star transition only. So like this we have to predict the corresponding electron transitions. And coming to the another example, this is actually benzophenone, otherwise diphenyl ketone. This is also known as diphenyl ketone or benzophenone. So in this is one of the keto compound because we have a C double bond group like this. At the same time we have a aromatic group like this. Aromatic ring available means pi to pi star transition is possible, sigma to sigma transition is really possible. And in addition to that, in this molecule we have an oxygen atom. In addition to that, we have in this molecule we have a oxygen atom, and that oxygen atom also having at least one lone pair of electron. Yes or not? So these are actually having at least one lone pair of electron. That means in this case again we will have a non-bonding level also. Again we have a non-bonding level. So that means in this case what are the possible levels? Sigma, pi, non-bonding level, pi star as well as sigma star. So these are 6 levels actually possible, and transitions n to pi star, n to sigma star, pi to pi star, pi to sigma star, sigma to pi star, and sigma to sigma star. So like this 6 transitions actually possible in this case also. And again, among all these transitions, the most probable transition actually n to pi star and pi to pi star transition only. Yes or no? And we have 2 more examples like this, and I think you can, I'm requesting you to, this is actually methyl orange indicator structure. This is actually methyl orange indicator, and this is actually phenolphthalein indicator. This is the structure of the phenolphthalein indicator, and this is the structure of the methyl orange indicator. We know that these 2 compounds are actually colored compounds. Yes or not? In acidic medium, methyl orange actually shows red in color, in basic medium actually yellow in color. Phenolphthalein in acidic medium colorless, in basic medium actually pink in color. So that means these 2 compounds in one of the state, one of the form actually colorless compound, this particular compound. This compound actually colorless in nature once it is in this particular form. So if it is deprotonated in the acidic medium, so this deprotonated in the basic medium, so this structure actually converted to pink color actually. So but in this case also the color property is mainly because of the different electron transitions in this case also. In this case also, that is the main reason, because we have more number of bonds here. So here we have an n to pi star level. So n to pi star is one of the lower in the transition that actually absorbs very close to the 380 or sometimes more than 380 also. So that is the reason these compounds actually acting as a color compounds or indicator kind of compounds. Even phenolphthalein indicator actually in one of the form actually colorless in nature, but in other form actually pink in color. So in these 2 cases also 6 possible transitions are actually available, but among those the most possible transition actually n to pi star or pi to pi star only, because we have here we have a lone pair of electrons. Here oxygen also available, lone pair of electrons are available. Here also oxygen atoms are available, lone pair of electrons are available. Here also oxygen atom, lone pair of electrons are available, and both molecule contains aromatic groups. That means pi bondings are available and sigma bonds also available. So that means in these 2 cases also we have 6 types of electronic levels like this, and total 6 types of transition actually, 5 types of transition levels are available, and 6 electron transition actually possible. But among those the most possible transition actually n to pi star and pi to pi star only. So like this, depending on the type of molecule, each molecule actually having different energy levels. And another important question actually, in all these cases the energies of the energy gap between the sigma pi non-bonding pi actually is common, and those are actually varies. So definitely the energy gap between the sigma level, pi level is actually unique to the each and every molecule. So all the molecules they don't have same kind of energy gap like this. So that energy gap actually varies depending upon the type of molecule only. So that is the reason. So in each case we have a different types of electronic transitions, even though that is an n to pi star transition only, because you can see here in all the cases we have an n to pi star transition. Most of the cases we have an n to pi star transition, but that n to pi star transition actually absorbs a different wavelength in different compounds. The same type of n to pi star transition actually absorbs different wavelength, sometimes 220, in some other cases 250, in some other cases 380, in some other cases 420, like that. So depending on the type of molecule we have, the same transition actually absorbing different radiation. So because the energy gap between the electronic levels available in the individual molecule is entirely different from the other electron level available in the other molecule. So that's the reason this absorption spectrum actually useful to understand what type of bonding available in the given molecule, whether there is a conjugate double bond system available, or aromatic compound groups are available, or any other charge transfer is actually possible, or non-bonding to anti-bonding levels. All those things we can able to clearly understand from this UV visual spectroscopy. So this is something about the prediction of possible electronic transitions in various examples. In the exam they used to give some of the molecules like this, and they will ask about the identify the possible transitions in a given unknown given molecule. So then you have to understand, you have to go through this kind of concept, and you have to predict the what type of levels are available. Sigma bonds are available or not, pi bonds are available or not, non-bonding electrons are available or not. So if everything available means maximum 6 transitions possible. Among those, the least energy gap containing transitions like N to pi star, pi to pi star transition are actually called most probable transitions. So this is something about the prediction of electronic transitions in a different types of molecules. Okay. And this is another example. So how we are getting the absorption spectrum. So this is the absorption spectrum of the 4-methyl 3-pentene 2-1 molecule. This is structure. Okay. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 second. I will take. So first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is actually one of the pentane kind of molecule, but in pentane chain at fourth carbon we have a methyl group, 4 methyl, and 3 third carbon actually contains double bond. 3 pentene, and second carbon actually contains C double bond group, so 2 on. So this is the example we are using. So for this molecule, if we take the absorption spectrum, because in the previous examples I mentioned actually total possible transitions and most probable transition. Most probable transition means these are the those two transitions actually one of the intense peaks. In the absorption spectrum we will get the intense peaks for those two transitions only. Most probable transition. In overall we have a total 6 types of transitions. So if you see the absorption spectrum of this particular compound, there are 2 major absorption peaks are available like this. These are the 2 most probable transitions. The first absorption peak at actually around 232 nanometers, and the second one actually around 330 nanometers like this. So now just identify and which one is the pi to pi star transition, which one is the N to pi star transition, because in this example we have a double bonds, lone pair of electrons and sigma bonds also, yes or not. So this molecule contains sigma electrons, pi electrons and non-bonding electrons or lone pair of electrons. That means in this case again we have a 5 different levels: sigma, pi, non-bonding, pi star anti-bonding, sigma star anti-bonding. But out of those 5 different levels, 6 possible transitions are actually possible, like N to pi star, N to sigma star, pi to pi star, pi to sigma star, sigma to pi star and sigma to sigma star. But among those, most probable transitions are actually either N to pi star and pi to pi star. So N to pi star, pi to pi star. But among these two, which one is actually non-bonding? This is the pi star level, this is non-bonding level, and here we have a pi level. So this is one of the transition and this is actually another transition. So among these two transitions, which one actually lower energy transition? So N to pi star actually one of the lowest energy transition. So that requires longer wavelength. So here we have a 2 different absorption peaks, and in the x-axis we have a wavelength, in the y-axis we have an intensity of the corresponding absorption peak. But this is one of the intense peak and this is actually lower intensity peak. But so this peak actually absorbing around 330 nanometers. That means this is mainly because of the N to pi star transition only, yes or not, because this transition requires longer wavelength. This particular transition actually requires longer wavelength, and the second transition actually requires a little bit shorter wavelength because there is the higher energy radiation. So that means this particular transition is mainly because of the pi to pi star transition, and this transition is mainly because of the N to pi star transition like this. So like this we can easily predict which one is the pi to pi star transition, which one is the low N to pi star transition by seeing the corresponding absorption spectrum. Okay, so like this we have to predict each and every peak So from the peak value, peak intensity, we can easily understand in a given compound what type of groups are available, whether CC bond is available or any heteroatoms are this molecule contains any lone pair containing kind of atoms and all those things. So like this we have to predict the possible electronic transitions. Okay. So this is all about the today's session. So in this session we discussed about what is the importance of the EUV spectroscopy. After that we discussed about the what are the possible electron transitions in this case and all those things. In the next class we will discuss about the main principle of the EUV spectroscopy and other details actually. Okay, so thank you one and all. If you have any queries, please contact to my email ID or mobile number. Thank you one and all.